Hello, today I'm going to paint picture by numbers the first time in my life. Well, I already painted the background because I decided that it won't be very interesting for you to watch like I just paint it with one color. By the way, I just noticed that I missed some parts here, so I already spent two cans, and it took all this background. Actually, I was expecting that canvas is gonna be this color according to the picture, and I was surprised that I need to color it by myself. So I have so many colors, 18 in the set, and two brushes, and I also have the printing, which has got a bigger picture, so I can check something which is too small for me here. So let me just fix it here. I was a bit worried about these inscriptions because I always feel how to say it, that I need to know what's written if it's foreign language. If you, for example, buy some t-shirt with some inscription, sometimes it's stupid when you don't know what is there, just wear it, and there is some phrase you wouldn't like, and I tried to translate it, but translator didn't show me anything suitable, so just not any kind of word or something. So I think maybe this not letters, I don't know how to call it in English, maybe they just not exist in real life. I don't know. If you know what does it mean, please tell me. So I'm going to start with the biggest parts and move to the smallest. I always thought that pictures by numbers, oh my god, it's so difficult to open it. Pictures by numbers, it's something, you know, as a person who studied drawing, well, not professionally, but at least a little, and who studied in the Academy of Arts, studied history of art, I was a little bit arrogant maybe to drawing pictures by numbers, because I thought that it's something not serious, it's not real drawing. But recently my husband bought a picture by numbers and started drawing, and I saw it and I understood that yes, it's not a drawing, but it's a coloring. So I love coloring pictures, and actually this is the same. So no one actually says that it's, well, maybe someone says that it's a drawing, but as an anti-stress coloring, it's quite normal. Why not? And I looked how my husband was doing it, and I decided to buy a picture for myself too. But the thing which I don't like in these pictures, that this technique of drawing, so you just color different spots, and your picture is becoming not smooth. There is no smooth going from one color to another, and just spots, and I don't like it. That's why I've chosen this kind of picture, because this is like graphics or printing, so it's not an oil painting or something, because when it's something like oil painting, I don't like at all how it looks like. And here it's okay, because that's in norm of this genre, when colors and tones can be like spotted. So this was the only picture I liked, and I've chosen it. I don't know how long am I going to paint it. I hope it will take not so long time, not like several days. I would prefer to finish today. So do it, well, not at one session, because I already did the first session with the background, but I would love to finish today at once. And talking about the last news, well, they're not really last. It happened several weeks ago. In Russia, government blocked video calls using Telegram and WhatsApp. They said that they are protecting us from frauds, and now we can't use it for video calls and audio calls too. And people started using Google Meet, and in 1 or 2 weeks Google Meet stopped working without any other explanations. And maybe a couple of months ago they announced the first national Russian messenger, which is called Max, and it's written, by the way, with Latin letters, not with Slavic letters, which is quite interesting for national Russian messenger. And I'm sure that these two news are not connected with each other, not at all. So now people use Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and maybe something else, FaceTime, people who have iPhones, but FaceTime started working very bad too, also without any explanations. So I hope that Zoom and Google Meet, not Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, I always called Google Meet, sorry, that Microsoft Teams won't be blocked, for now at least, because they are for conferences, and our national new messenger is not for conferences. So I hope something will stay with us. When I lived like that for 3 years, for almost 3 years, I understood that I really, really appreciate. So I just want to say that if you live in some small country, maybe in Europe, for example, small country, which, as we said in Russia, not I said, but it was a tendency to say that these small European countries are so boring. It's wealthy, but it's too wealthy. Nothing is going on here, there. I mean, and in Russia, at least, there are a lot of interesting things. So I can tell you that if you live in a small country where nothing is going on, it's not shown in a world news every day. If your news are like, I don't know, president opened a new hospital or new school, or president's cat gave birth to kittens, and your country is in a good relationships with other countries, you can travel freely, you can use everything freely, all the services. Now I appreciate these things so much. For example, I visited Finland lots of times, and when I was a kid or teenager, I always felt that it's pretty boring, not because I need some nightclubs or something, not at all. Just, I don't know, it seemed to me like some sleepy place with almost no people everywhere, and where everything is just very strict, the rules are very strict, and yeah. Now I think that it's so cool. I think that yeah. So if you live like that, I understand that you can't feel it until you haven't been in such kind of situation, but I can tell you that you need to appreciate your possibilities, that you live calm, in peace and calm. You feel assured, you know what's gonna be tomorrow, in a month, in a half a year. Of course, we don't know 100%, we never know, but you feel like you know, at least. You're a very lucky person, I can tell you. That's very good for your, how to say it, for how do you feel yourself, for your nervous system, so something like this. And while painting, I wanted to tell you a story, maybe, how I used to be a vegan for 2 years. It started just in one day, I can tell you how it happened. Once I felt bored in the evening, and I decided to watch some movie, and I found a movie by David Lynch. It was a documentary movie, autobiography movie about Moby, the musician. And I love Moby and I love David Lynch, so I thought, oh, that's cool, I want to watch it. And I watched it, I really liked it. But I didn't know that Moby was vegan, and in the video it was shown how he on the concert how he is saying to the audience that they need to become a vegans, how it's important. And he asked them, and I was so I don't know how to say it, so I felt so irritated with that, because I thought, how can you say it just to say it to all the people, to claim it, because you don't know, maybe someone has problems with health and they will listen to you, and yes, it's their responsibility, but still. And I was very not very, but I felt irritation. But then I can say that it worked somehow, because I started thinking, I thought, he said the phrase, now I remember. He said the phrase, it's not so difficult to be a vegan nowadays, that I was a vegan in 80s, when no one knew what is that. And now there are lots of vegan shops, vegan products, vegan stuff. And I thought, and what is that to be a vegan? And then I started thinking about this. What is that to be a vegan? Why vegans do this? And I decided just in one moment to make an experiment and try to be a vegan, to live like a vegan for 1 month, and to see how it's gonna be. I was very inspired with this. It seemed very interesting to me. And I started thinking, why vegans are not vegetarians? I didn't know about it at all. I started thinking why that's crazy, that's stupid, why they don't drink milk, because cows giving milk. Why they don't eat honey, because bees giving honey. I decided to read. It all was in one evening. I decided to read, and I read how actually people make cows and bees giving milk and honey, and I felt okay. I never interested, and now I understand why. And you know, I actually felt some controversial feelings from time to time during my life. For example, I feel very angry, and not angry, okay, irritated. I feel irritated when people like, for example, have animals whom they are okay to eat and whom they are not okay to eat. It sounds so stupid for me when people are like, how can you eat dogs? How can you eat horses? And they are pets, they are our friends. And that makes me really angry, because the cows and chickens, they also feel pain. They live in terrible conditions on the farms, and you are okay with that. But you are not okay if dogs and horses are like that. So it's just, God, I don't know this word, I write it. For me, it's like that. I'm sorry if someone is disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. How difficult to open them. Well, it's good because they won't become dry, but I really can't open it. Sorry. I do it from the different sides. From the wrong side. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. So, I'm thinking that in my head, it works like everyone should be equal. So I eat anyone, or I don't eat anyone at all. All the other things are the word that I'm going to print because I don't know it. And when I read about vegans' philosophy, I felt like this, this controversy I felt all the time, it's disappeared. So in this philosophy, it's disappeared because I felt strange about this. And I felt strange that, for example, eating people are not okay, but eating animals is okay. Why? This was very big controversial in my life, because I remember that when I was a kid and I heard about this thing that people can eat each other, and when I just heard about it, I didn't think that it's bad, because I thought like, well, we eat animals, then what's the difference? And only later, well, I was a little kid, and only later I noticed that when people talk about this, about cannibalism, and that this is not okay in our world. And I thought, oh, okay, this is not okay. I thought it's normal because we eat animals. And since this time, I felt this controversial. Why eating people is not okay and eating animals is okay? And when I read about being vegan, about vegans, I felt that I don't feel it, and that's great. And I felt, wow, that's cool. And I went to bed with this. Well, okay, I remember that I checked some books about being vegan. I found a book with a couple. It was an American book. I don't remember the name at all. But if you want, I can find the name if you are interested and write it. And the second book was, I love that it's scientific. It was written by dietologist. There are two parts. The first one is written with a scientist who made experiments And the second part is written with his son, who continued what his father searched. And I love that they are not vegans, so I can read about this more subjective. Because of course vegans, they couldn't, of course they would tell that yes, it's good, it's great. And I wanted to listen also something objective. And they were not vegans because they experimented on rats and all that stuff. So I loved the books. I loved the book of Vegan Couple too. But the things which I didn't like, I remembered them, that I really didn't like them. The first one, that they had dogs and cats, and they fed them with vegan food too, with special cat and dog foods, but it was vegan. And I was like, why do you feed your animals with food which they wouldn't choose in real nature? Because isn't it violence to the animals which you are against? So that was the only chapter which made me angry. And the other thing, it was just stupid. It about medicine. Yes, I think that's a very tricky question when you are a vegan, because medicine is tested. All the medicines, they are tested on animals. And we can't do anything with that because it's just forbidden to test it on people without testing on animals. So if you are a vegan, you are making a choice. Are you agree to take medicines which were created like this, or you disagree and you won't take any medicines? During that period of time, I didn't take any medicine. So I took some vitamins, but vitamins, they usually don't test it on animals because it's not medicines. And what I wanted to say, sorry, I forget it. That's so strange that number 5 is here too. That looks really weird, but okay, let it be. And this couple, they said that, well, it's good that they said, of course, it's your choice. We don't ask you to refuse taking any medicines. But they said you can buy generics. This is the stolen formula. So what's the sense to buy generics? Because generics were created because the original medicine was created, and it was created because of the animals testing. So when you buy generics, you don't do it any better. I don't know, it's like when when Western countries nowadays buy Russian gas, not from Russia, but from India, who bought it from Russia. The idea is the same. You just make an illusion that you don't buy from these bad people who do such terrible things, but actually you still do it. Yes, you don't bring, okay, with generics you don't bring money to that people, but you buy medicine which was created because of these people, but you just don't give them money. You give money to people who stole their issues. So that was very funny. I didn't understand the sense. And by the way, I think I need to say sorry if someone is going to be offended with my words, but that's just my thoughts. You can't think different. That's okay. I'm not saying that that's the last truth, the only truth. In Russia we say the truth in the last court, or something like this. So when you are in the court, and you can have several parts of the process, and we say that I'll type this word, so this is not the true in the last process. So by the way, now I'm taking antidepressants, and I don't know, I think I just would take them even if I would be vegan. And off top, there was news that during last 3 years Russians started taking 30% more antidepressants. So guess why? I was very inspired with the idea of becoming vegan. So coming back to the topic here, and I remember that I woke up the next morning and my first thought was, not first thought, but I wanted to eat, to have a breakfast. And I thought, and what am I going to eat? Because no eggs, no milk products, no cheese. And I thought, what to eat? And somehow I solved this problem. I don't remember what I ate, but something I ate, and I thought, okay, not difficult. And I started my vegan life. I can say that we have very, very good shop with healthy food, and nowadays I buy only there because I like it, and this shop is really helped me a lot during my vegan way, because it has got a lot of vegan products, very different, very interesting, very tasty, mostly with good contents, with healthy contents, and for most of the people it will be healthy. I'm just very, very, how to say, strict about it, and this shop helped me a lot. There were lots of ready meals and usual food, and they have free delivery to home, and they have app, and you could put filters there and just don't see any other goods. So there were about 1,000 vegan goods. So I mean all the goods, even usual goods can be vegan, like flour, for example, like vegetables, and there were 1,000 goods with all of them. But of course, when you just look at this the first time, you think, oh, 1,000 is so much. But when you do it every day, you start seeing that 1,000 maybe is not so much. But also, of course, you can look for new recipes, different shops, and have another products too. So, but I can tell you that for vegans, that's a really good shop, and I know that there are, well, at least in Europe, I haven't heard of such kind of shop which has got delivery app with filter, free delivery, I mean. Plenty of ready meals you can order home, and that's quite cool. And it really, really helped me, and I think that's why I was vegan for so long, for 2 years, because without this my life would be much more difficult. So very fast, my surrounding knew that I'm going to be a vegan. Well, I told my friends that I'm going to make an experiment, and they supported me because they are my friends. But the problems was actually what I didn't expect it. The biggest problems were with my relatives. My mom, by the way, she's super liberal. My mom is super liberal. And I didn't expect that it will be a problem for her. But the thing is that my mom is very liberal, but she is a doctor, and she is very concerned about health and about all these things. And when I said it the first time to her, it seemed to me that it's okay. But later she started saying me all the times about how unhealthy it is. And during all 2 years, she said it to me, and I explained to her that I'm concerned about health too, because by the way, woman, you raised me. You know that I'm concerned about health. And during these 2 years, each half a year, I made a blood test. We had in private labs even special tests we have for vegans and vegetarians, for the most necessary parameters, points, for the most necessary elements, and the elements which are in risk. If you are under risk, if you are vegan or vegetarian, that's very cool, by the way, too. So I had this blood test every half a year. It costed in dollars, I think maybe $50-$60. I checked my health, and I think that's the only right way to be vegan or vegetarian. And I started, I was very careful to my feelings. I listened to my feelings very much. By the way, I remember how in 2 days my knees, so I became vegan, and in 2 days my knees started aching a little, just for some very short period of time, like for several minutes. And I thought, oh my god, my body is run out of calcium. it started. So yeah, so I checked my blood test, and by the way, by this checking, I firstly find out that I have an anemia, and it was before I became vegan, and I found out that I have it, and I started doing something with that. Also, I found out that I have lack of vitamin D, but that's very typical for our climate, and I don't understand why in Russia we don't have programs like in Scandinavian countries, when they explain to the people that you need to eat vitamin D during winter, or omega-3, omega-6. We don't have anything like this. Only doctor can recommend you, or not, even that depends on doctor. That's very strange for me, because we all have lack of vitamin D in the north. And also that's very strange for me that it's absolutely not well spread to have blackout curtains, because we have Nordic summer, which is actually polar day, and many people can't sleep normally. And I couldn't sleep normally for all my life, and I even didn't understand it, because I was just like, well, in the summer I wake up in 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, well, I don't feel that I slept enough, but it's light, it's sunny, so. And only a couple of years ago I understood that I actually can hang blackout curtains, and now it's so wonderful. Not even for polar day, but in general. But in Russia almost no one have it, and even in cities where tourists can come, and they suffer from the light, in hostels or hotels, not in all of them can be blackout curtain. That's so strange for me. So coming back to the topic, the biggest problems were with my relatives. My husband's relatives, by the way, they were very understanding, and thank them for this. My husband's mom, she tried to cook for me every time something. Well, usually when I came to them, I just ate, for example, potato, so something which came to main food. I forgot how to call it. Like potato, rice or something, and some vegetables. And that was just, for example, some vegetable salad. So she just cooked for everyone, and I ate side dish, if I'm not mistaken it's called, and some vegetable salad. And they just said, oh, okay. Well, maybe because they're not my parents, and they not really cared about me, but I don't know. And my mom, she always texted me with that's so unhealthy, that's so bad. And I said that, you understand that it's just your word against my word, because you will say that it's bad, and I said that I read, and if you check everything, if you take vitamins, if you listen to your feelings and you are okay, it's okay. And I also read about it. And my mom said, no, you will see it in 10 years and you won't be able to do something with that already. And I even asked her not to talk with me about this, because each our talk turned into this. We started arguing, and I felt really tired of this. And the same was with my grandmas. The one grandma, she was the same way, and I also asked her, finally I asked her just not discuss with me this topic. And by the way, my mom said, if everything is okay with this idea for you, why are you getting so angry when I'm talking with you about this? And I was like, because you tell me all the same things all the time. I ask you not to do this, and that's why. And I asked my grandma the same, and it helped. At least my grandma stopped talking with me about this. And my mom, well, when she understood that I'm really not going to talk with her, if she won't stop, she stopped too. By the way, yes, these colors are too close, so close to each other. I'm sorry. Yes. By the way, only later, that doesn't have any sense, but only later I remembered then when my father, when my father was dying from cancer, it was several years ago. He, well, like all the people I think who are dying and they have no ways to find help because medicine can't help you any longer, he became vegan. And maybe the last year of his life he became vegan, and he said to me, started saying to me that it's so good to be vegan, so healthy. I read a lot about it, and that time I thought, why are you doing this? Your body is weak with the treatment, with everything, and you stopped eating meat and all this stuff. And I didn't say that to him. I didn't say to him, but I thought that, are you sure? I really believe that it's going to help you now when you have the last, how to call it, the last stage of cancer. So, but of course I didn't tell him anything. I just asked, did you tell it to your doctor that you have this kind of eating? And he said no. And I said, okay. Okay. And that's funny that our last talk was about, he told me how to do a vegan milk from almond milk, and that was our last talk, and I absolutely forgot about this. And only after maybe a year of being vegan, I remembered that actually my father was a vegan for the last year of his life, or maybe the last 2 years. And that was so interesting because I really I forgot about it so much. So that was an explosion for me. Explosion. So, and my grandma, she was my father's mom. I didn't tell her because because she was very concerned about eating, about food. She always, both my grandmas, the whole of my life, they told me that I'm too slim, too skinny. And my grandma even told me, the mom's mother, she even, by the way, no, they both told me that I have anorexia. And I said, like, do you understand what is anorexia? I eat, it was before I became vegan, I said I eat normally. Do you really know what is anorexia? They didn't believe that I can be just slim. They thought that I'm sitting on a diet. And that's just my type of figure. And they had different types of figure, and I have a type of figure like my dad had. And my grandma, who is my dad's mother, she is older, and she's quite old, and I just thought that it would be very difficult to explain her. So maybe the first year I didn't tell her anything, but then we had a travel to our relatives with her, and I needed to tell them, to make them know, because they were going to talk to us. And by the way, I always feel very, not ashamed, shy. Because twice we visited different relatives, and I needed to say them that I'm a vegan, sorry, and I can cook to myself, and all that stuff. And they said, no, it's okay, and they cooked to me. And I was very thankful that they did it, because I understand that that's extra difficulties to the people, and they do this. And the one, my relative in Bulgaria, she cooked so brilliant. She, by herself, she cooks brilliant, and I ate the best vegan food when I visited her, while visiting her. So many thanks to all my relatives. But the fact is that, of course, I was forced to let my grandma know that I'm a vegan, because I said my relatives and I ate vegan food there. And I think that firstly she didn't understand what is that, but later she understood, and she also started telling me that she's very worried about me, because she always was concerned about food, because I think maybe that's something after war, the Second World War, something after poverty, when you're concerned about food, maybe because you are just grandma, and grandmas always want to give some food to their kids. And she said that after my father died, she's very worried, because my father didn't tell her till the very last moment, but she saw that he is going more and more skinny. And now she's afraid, because I'm skinny too, and I said that I'm a vegan, and she is afraid that I'm going to die. And I explained to her that no, it's not like that, everything is okay. And yes, my father became vegan before he died, so yeah, I think that's why I didn't want to tell my grandmother. So every time she asked me, are you still vegan? Are you still vegan? And I called her several times a week, and she asked me, are you still vegan? Don't you eat normally? Yeah, that was like that. Actually, these are the things which I remember the best. So I can tell that most of the people were okay with that. The biggest problems were with my mom and a bit with my grandmas. So is it 16? I forgot what I'm doing actually. Because now it's becoming quite small. By the way, I didn't paint all the big parts, so I don't know why I do so small things. And what color is it? Okay. During traveling, it was more difficult to find something vegan, but if you are in big cities like Moscow, St. Petersburg, or even smaller, then it's okay. At least I found an idea. If there were nothing vegan in the restaurant we came, I just took several side dishes and ate it like one full dish. And once it was very pleasant. We were in a small town which is called Торжок. There was just one normal cafe in the whole town with good reviews. And we went there and I ordered these 3 side dishes. And the waiter or the cooker, they didn't bring 3 side dishes, but they served it as a one dish, and they served it very beautiful. And I was really impressed that they understood that I just have 3 side dish as a one dish, and I didn't ask them, but it was quite cool. Actually, I was very pleased with that. So sometimes, of course, unpleasant things happened. For example, once we came to the city which is called Великий Novgorod. It's middle, not really big, but not the small town. But there were some problems with vegan food, and I found their very nice Indian vegan cafe, the only maybe vegan cafe in the city, and I really loved the food there, and I had a dinner there. And I wanted, when I woke up, I understood that I don't want to look for something new. I just go there. I was there just one evening and one day till the evening. And I decided to go there for the breakfast, but they were opened only since midday, and it was a morning. So okay, I waited for the afternoon, and I was so hungry. And when I came to this cafe, it was closed, just closed. Not because, without any explanation, just closed. And I was so disappointed, and I was so upset because I was so angry, and I thought that now I'm going to eat. And but then we found Papa John's, and they had you could choose their, how to say, to make your own pizza. I mean, you choose all the ingredients, and I was very happy that I could eat there. But then, after this trip, in my place of living, in my city, I came to our Papa John's, and they said, no, you can't do this. You can't choose your own pizza. In one, they said you just can't, and in another one, they said you can buy cheese pizza. We just don't put the cheese and put all the other stuff you want. And I did it like that, but it was very expensive. It was crazy. And I was very upset that I could do this in that city and couldn't in my own. And so sometimes these unpleasant things happened. But in general, and yes, sometimes you need to pay more because, for example, you just needed to find the cafe where it was vegan food, and sometimes this cafe itself was not really cheap. Or sometimes it was a like buffet where you pay for the entrance and just take different meals, and usually it's also not cheap. So you need to be ready to spend more and have not such a big choice. But in general, it's okay. And after I invented my scheme, taking several side dishes, it was no problems, even if the restaurant is not vegan. And why I stopped? I stopped for one reason, which, how to say it? Well, okay, I stopped because I started Oh, is it 16 or 17? Okay, maybe I made a mistake somewhere, but never mind. I started feeling more and more tired of lack of choice, firstly, and I understood that I can be vegan, I can cook vegan food, but I need to spend more time for this because in our family I cook, and I needed to cook separately for myself and for my husband, 2 different dishes, and it was more difficult, and every time it was more difficult every day to cook separately, and it's also sometimes it's difficult because if you both are vegans, then you can eat similar food, you can go to similar places. No, we went to similar places, and my husband, he could taste usual food or vegan food if it was absolutely vegan cafe, but okay, but at least cooking for me became the most difficult thing. And another problem for me was that I didn't really like some vegan food which many vegans use. For example, I didn't like tofu, cheese. I couldn't find something good for instead of milk products, because the most difficult for me was not the meat, not the fish, not the chicken, not the eggs, honey, but milk products. They were I couldn't find anything normal instead of them, because I didn't want to buy some copy of usual cheese with the aroma flavor of cheese. I think that's crazy. And sour cream, and I couldn't find normal milk. I tasted lots of vegan milk, lots types, lots brands, and there were no one I really like, because vegans usually use cacao milk, and I don't like it. I hate cacao in food. In cosmetics, the smell is okay, but taste not. I feel really sick of the taste of cacao in food, and that was a problem. So I felt tired of cooking. I felt that I can't find something instead food I loved, and also, as I told you, 1,000 goods seems big, but not when you do it 2 years, for 2 years, and you already tasted all this. Something you didn't like, something you liked, but in general, I started ordering lots of ready meals because I had no energy for cooking for myself. Oh, and also you need to looking for new recipes, of course, because when you're just starting being vegan, you have not so many dishes. Well, many, but they also need to be energetical for you, so you can't eat just potato or rice or, as I said, just several side dishes. You need to eat normally, variously, and you need to take time to find recipes. I can tell you that okay, never mind. I even how to say it, studied the course of nutritiology just for myself, to understand better how it all works, to make my my food system more healthy and more various. And by the way, my mom, she told me, you need to go to the doctor, to dietologist. Maybe they will explain you that this is not healthy. And I even said, okay, I go without any problems. But I didn't want to spend money because I felt okay. I felt that everything is fine. But I said, if if you will feel calmer with it, okay, without any problems I go, without any questions. But for some reasons I didn't come, because we just stopped talking about this, because I asked her and she finally stopped. And I didn't go to the dietologist. So the thing is that you can be vegan, but you really need to take time to your food, mostly if you are the only vegan in the family, and mostly if you are cook not only for yourself. That will really take your time and energy. And I start ordering lots of vegan ready meal, because I had no energy to cook it. So of course I started wasting more money. And even these ready meals, very soon I felt tired of them, because again, there were many of them. I'm very thankful to this shop that there were many of ready meals. Sometimes the different ones existed, existed, so I could try different things, not just ready meals, but different desserts, different many stuff. And by the way, this was quite cool. I'm very happy that I tried so many different products, new products, which I probably would never try. And I knew about many different dishes. And I really felt that it's varized my food experience. That was cool. And I even felt that my brain started working a bit wider about food, about all that stuff. But again, in your everyday life, maybe 10 years ago, when I was really more like a typical housewife, I would be happy to spend so much time on food, cooking, but now I didn't want. And after I remembered how we were in Bulgaria, and my relative cooked to me very various, very tasty, and I didn't need to cook. And I thought, if someone would cook to me, that would be great. Because I don't have energy for this. And I'm tired of all the recipes, all the ready meals, but I also had no energy to find something new. And yeah. And I started having dreams while sleeping about food, that I feel hungry. And I understood that this is not normal, because this is not normal any longer, because food is your basic, how to say it, one of your basic things you need. And if I dream such kind of dreams, that means that my brain is not okay with what's going on. But I still try to do something, because I didn't want to. And by the way, I didn't tell you that I started it as an experiment for a month. But in the end of this month, I liked it so much that I decided to continue. And I didn't want to drop it, because, as I said, it felt very like natural to me, and my feelings too, and questions I had all my life. So it was very pity to drop it for me. But finally, one day, I understood that I can't any longer. I have no energy to cook, and I have no energy and no wish to spend so much time on food. And also, finally, I understood that I feel jealous because I can't try some food. Because sometimes I started remembering some milk products, as I said, and I understood that. So first years I didn't miss it. But as I told you, I couldn't find some good analogs, and I felt that I miss. I'm sorry, miss milk products, and I understood that I would love to taste them. I understood that I would love to taste seafood. So, yes. And I understood that I would love to taste another ready meals in this shop because there were plenty of them, and I just had this like narrow choice. And I understood that that's why I'm dreaming about hunger, because my brain perceives it as I keep myself in hunger because I want to eat something. I understand that I want to eat something and I don't eat it. And I thought what to do with that, what can I do with that? And I couldn't find any exit from this situation. And my friends, they told me, why can't you just do something partly? So be just vegetarian or eat normally, but for example, buy just vegan cosmetics or something. And I can't do this because that's my, I don't know, that's maybe just type of my character or something. I tried. I even tried to be vegan partly, not partly, I mean, to eat milk products or to be vegan, but if we go to the cafe or restaurant, I can take any kind of food, or what I wanted to say, or if I cook something for my husband which is not vegan and I want to try it, I can try it. But no, it doesn't work like that. For me, at least. I just, it's just not vegan. You just start eating normally, and that's it. And also, by the way, we had a problem with my husband. Not a problem, but we had an unpleasant situation that I had less food than before I became vegan because I couldn't eat my husband's food. And my husband, he got more food than before because he had his food, and also my food appeared. And it happened situations when I cooked something for myself, and he is like, "Oh, what's that? It's so interesting. Can I try it?" And well, of course, I said, "You can," but my husband, he had his own food and also mine food, and I got less food because he ate some part of my food. And the problem is that, as we all know, vegan food, of course, it's less energetical. I don't know how to say it correctly. What is here? I don't understand what is here. 18. And I would prefer to have all my food because I need to eat it more to feel fed. But my husband ate it partly. And once I even said to him that this is my food. Don't, why do you eat my food? This is for me. And he felt offended that we have like different food and he can't eat something. But then we discussed it, and he agreed that yes, if he wants to taste, he just tastes, but not eat my food. So we had such kind of problem, for example. And what else interesting I can tell you? If, for example, in Russian internet, I don't know how in Western internet, but in Russian internet there are plenties of jokes about aggressive vegans, and about vegans who starts blaming everyone on the parties that they are eating meat, or make some aggressive situations that they are not going to eat this and that, and make difficulties to everyone, and something like this. I can tell you that I never seen any vegan in my life. Really, I've seen vegetarians. Okay, I've seen my father, but he never did anything like this. I've seen 2 vegetarians, but they were absolutely okay with that. They could bring their own food to the parties, for example. They could bring their own food, and they never blamed anyone. They never did such kind of crazy things, like in these jokes. And even people in comments, they noticed that they said, I see lots of aggressive jokes about aggressive vegans, but I can't hear anything at all from vegans. So where are vegans, and where are so many these aggressive jokes about them? And I agree, because really no vegans were surrounding me. I was the only vegan everywhere, and I can tell you that I tried a lot to make it comfortable to people. I also could buy my own food, could bring my own food, and when it was a party, I was okay if someone tried it too, because, well, it's a party. So I could even cook some extra food, which is, yes, it also, by the way, it also was difficult for me because I needed to cook personally for myself. But I understood that if I'm a vegan, that's my problem, if we can say so, but not the problem of other people. And I believe that it depends on person. If the person is okay, then there will be no problems. So I never thought about this before, but I started feeling irritated with these jokes, because it was more about to make a joke about stupid aggressive vegan, but it was very far from the truth. And surprising, but during this period, through these jokes, I started better to understand, for example, LGBT community. I started to understand them better, because I also, in Russian internet, there are also lots of jokes about gays, mostly about gays, yeah. Maybe about transgenders. No, mostly about gays. And again, I never even seen open gay in my life. Well, maybe in media, yes, but not in real life. No, okay, maybe the boy on the another faculty in my university, yes, I could guess that he is a gay, but that's it. But I see plenty of jokes about gays and all that stuff, and I understood how it works, and that's so stupid, actually. Yeah, and I actually felt, when you're becoming a vegan, you feel yourself as a minority, so you can understand what is it to be a minority, and to be different from each other in something. Yes, they can't see it, but when you are it, you are a minority. I was thinking, should I tell people about this when we just meet each other? Is it important? But my friend, she told me that it's important when you are eating together and sitting at one table. And why should you tell about this everyone all the time? And I thought, yes, really. So most of the people, they really didn't know about this. Only if we needed to eat together, then they knew. And really, in real life, the reaction was positive, except my grandmothers and mothers. And I think that with LGBT community it works the same, but no, maybe worse in Russia. That depends on people, but generally everyone said, oh, cool, it's so healthy. Mostly they perceived it as a healthy diet. about how I felt myself, I didn't feel any difference. Even my problem skin, I thought, oh, now maybe my skin is gonna be better. No, no difference in bad or good way, not at all. I think I need to take a thinner brush because I'm not really accurate and it's not going to be accurate. So I need to change the brush and the water, I guess. By the way, I like the parts where I did it not accurate because it looks more like living, or how can I say it? For example, this one, I like this one more than this one where everything is accurate. So because here you see this, so it's like spots, not interesting, yellow, orange, red. I think I even would prefer to do something like this, to do it more smoother. This is the wrong color. I do it with the wrong color. So this one, and I thought, why is like that? Why it's so strange? So one day I just felt that that's enough for me. I'm tired, and I'm not gonna do it any longer. I became vegan in one day, and I stopped being vegan in one day. I just started eating food, usual food. Everywhere it's written that you better do it not so fast. So to start more gentle. But I did everything in one day. I don't say that it's a great idea, but I felt okay with that. But I can tell you that when I was a vegan and I tasted cheese once, and when and after the first day after I stopped being vegan, this is the wrong color. Okay. When I tasted cheese, when I decided to stop being vegan, it felt so super fat. That was crazy how fat it was. And I really can say that when you are vegan, the food is very light, and in some ways it's better that you eat so light food, not fat. But another thing is that you need some fats in your body, and usually, as I said before, vegan food is like that, like you feeling hungry faster than with usual food. Of course, not all the time, but it happens. They usually try to do different sources, for example, from nuts, but it's quite fat, but in a different way, so you can feel bad after this. For example, that's why I didn't really like 100% vegan restaurants. So the one which was Indian, which I wanted to eat in the second time and I couldn't, it was the only one I liked 100%, but the other ones, very often it was spicy, very often it was too fat, but as I said, in a bad way. So you can feel bad after this because it was too fat. And wait a second, I have to check what is that. Okay. I I feel that I'm really tired of making this, of looking for these small colors. because it's quite difficult to find now, to find this and this and that. And I would love just to put my own colors, but I don't feel that it's gonna be good, because for this I need to see the picture, and I don't see it. And by myself I'm afraid that I can spoil it. Oh, and also very often vegan restaurants, they used vegan mayonnaise, and I didn't really like it, because I tried not to eat mayonnaise in general, and they could put it a lot, and very often they just used this mayonnaise as a sauce, and that's it. So I would prefer them to use something different, something interesting. So unfortunately my camera died, so you skipped just a little bit. I colored these letters, hieroglyphs, and a little bit of leaves, but I was a little upset that my camera died, so not died but turned off. So, and I was tired, so I decided to continue in the next time, so the next day. I think that this time I would prefer to open all the cans, because it's quite tricky to open them and close all the time, and I do it because I'm afraid that they will dry out, because this paint it dries out really fast, incredibly fast. But now to tell you the truth, I don't really care. I just want to finish, and now it became more difficult, because the spots are quite tiny now, and now I can't say that it's really relaxing, because you need to look through all these numbers and all that stuff, and I think that I need to turn them with numbers to me, so I can see it. I hope that I finish in an hour, because I really don't want to do it for so long. So I was telling that I stopped being vegan, and did I feel sad? Of course I did, because I already read a lot about animals, about how they live on these farms, how terrible the conditions, and now it's more difficult for me to know all this, and yeah, I felt much better with my consciousness felt much better when I was a vegan, and now it's not. And of course I'm sad. Technically I stopped being vegan because of I don't want to call it laziness, because of priorities, because I didn't want to spend so much time on cooking, on looking for recipes, products, and ingredients, and yeah, and I probably told that I don't remember if I told it yesterday or not, that if I do it partly, that I lose any sense, and I need to do or completely or don't do it all. So that's it. And I still think, but anyway, I still think that people could be vegans, could I mean, all the people, they could be vegans, but for this, it must happen like that historically. So if people would choose not the easiest way to hunt and to eat animals, but they would choose the longest way, probably they wouldn't survive. Or if it would happen, then maybe genetically we would be better, our bodies would felt better for being vegans. Maybe we wouldn't suffer from lack of vitamins, but I can tell that I have I know lots of people who are not vegans and not vegetarians, and they suffer from lack of vitamins because they don't know how to to eat normal food, to eat healthy. Yes, I mean. So yeah, I think if all the people would be vegans, if they developed food in these vegan ways, so that wouldn't be copies of usual food. That would be just different ingredients, different recipes which are vegan, and if people wouldn't think in this way, but of course, that would be much more difficult for surviving in our early ages. I mean, the early ages of humanity. So that couldn't be like that. So we can't check it. It's impossible. I think technically it could be so, but because of our history, because of climate, because of surviving questions, that would not be possible, unfortunately. Because if we just wouldn't know that we can kill someone and eat them, I think we lived, if we just imagine it for a second, I think we could live like that, eating vegan food, buying vegan clothes. But also we need to understand that without experiments on animals, also medicine wouldn't develop so well, and that would also have some consequences. So yeah. So anyway, we can't check it. There is no way. I heard, for example, a theory that all the people, they can be bisexuals. So all the people, technically, they could like both men and women. And if we wouldn't have all the cultural and historical background which we were growing up in, if since we were born we could see that we could love all the people with no difference, then and we could see it in our history, in our like fairy tales, in our everything, then it would be absolutely normal and no problem for all people. And again, we can't check this theory. That's very interesting, and it would be very interesting to check, but we can't do this because how? Just do it in some not ethical way. So we need to take babies and grow them up, and there must be lots of babies, and grow them up in some closed community to create for them to create for them their own culture, their own books, their own fairy tales, movies, cartoons, and still these conditions won't be natural, so we can't be sure 100% these conditions will never be like that in the real world. So I don't know. That would be very interesting, but we can't do this. It reminds me movie Island with Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor. That's the movie of naughties, so 2008 or something. If you didn't watch, there was closed community of clones of different rich people who didn't know about it. They just lived on an island in some company, and they were like donors for these rich people when they needed organs or something. They used these clones. So I think about something like this, that for example, could it be some movie about teenagers who were participants of this experiment, if they didn't know about this, that they live in closed community, and then they know that actually there is a real world who is not completely bisexual, bisexual. I don't even know, would Netflix film something like this, or they wouldn't never do this. Is it interesting for nowadays life, or is it how to say it, offensive? Offensive. I wonder, because actually the idea is quite interesting. So, to tell you the truth, now I want to do it not accurate at all, because firstly I want to do it more living, so not like striped, and secondly now I can't say that it's really relaxing, because sports are super small, and you need to look for them, and that's not really comfortable. And it seems to me that I do, and there are still lots of tiny spots, and I need to look for them, and they are not over. For example, here it's number 5. And where is else number 5? So I took number 5, and I don't know where else to use it. Okay, and then I take number 4. And then let me show you names of the colors. For example, this one is orange. Where's 4? That's 14. Here is 4. Orange in Russian will be оранжевый, very similar with English. And number 4, it's 4 is 4, and number is номер. So like this. Here are lots of tones, and as in English I think we don't have, maybe we have real names for all the tones, but usually we also say like light blue, or no, light blue we have special word, by the way, for light blue. It's голубой. Okay, let's take number 2. This one I would call it brown. In Russian, brown is коричневый, and now I'm looking for number 2, and number 2 is 2. In Russian, yes, something like this. By the way, in Russia, as I already told previously, we have respectful form of speaking, like in German, for example, or as far as I know in Spanish, but not in English. The friendly form, if it's your friend, relative, is ты, so it's you, but in friendly way. If it's a respectful form, then it's вы. And this affects different verbs, the ending of different verbs, which form do you use, and yes, I think only verbs. Actually, sometimes it's interesting because it can give different tones, shades of communication. But I actually like that in English language every it's only respectful, and sometimes sometimes we don't need all these difficulties, and it's only respectful, and that is. And yes, in Russian it's also plural, the respectful form, it's also like plural. So but sometimes I don't know what is here actually. So okay, I'll just take green. I think it's a lack of green here, greenery. For example, my husband's parents, I know them for 10 years, almost 10 years, and it seems to me strange to tell them like in a friendly way, so like close relatives, but at the same time I know them for so long, and I don't know, on the one hand it would be good to say in usual way, in a friendly way, but I don't know, at the same time it's too close, but we know each other for so long, so I don't know. And sometimes it seems to me that my husband feels the same with my relatives too, because we can communicate quite close. Here it's not really comfortable to paint. So yes, sometimes it's quite tricky, just like painting this, coloring this. I would prefer, actually, now I feel that coloring must be more relaxing than this. I would prefer the bigger objects, or I would prefer to draw by myself, but here I don't feel so, how to say it, self-confident, so I don't want to spoil it at least. But it's quite tricky now to draw all this. So yeah. You know, I feel quite close just to stop doing something like this. I just take some close colors which are here, and I'm not going to I know in Russia we call it to fuck my brains, because I got tired of this. That's too much for me. That's too difficult. Maybe some people, they like it, like such kind of things, but it seems to me that that's not for me, because I love doing everything like white, like this. So I would better do it like that. Maybe not very accurate, but still, I don't really care now. I think if we look from the big distance, that will be not bad, and that's enough for me. So like this. Here it's number 15 and number 16. 15 and 16 in Russian are 15 is 15 and 16 16. So 5 5, and is it? It's 17. It's even difficult to see the numbers. Yes, I have a bigger skin to check, but that's, I don't know, I'm too lazy with that. So in English it's 16, 6 and 10, and in Russian it's 6 and 12. So 16. Not 16, but 16. When I speak English and then I start speaking Russian, I speak with an accent. Okay, let it be like that. Good. I'm okay. I'm not a perfectionist, by the way. If you didn't notice by my video, I don't suffer with perfectionism at all. Many people, they have problems with, for example, start filming videos because they think that the picture is not perfect, something is not perfect. I don't have such kind of problem at all. I just film. I can't say that I don't care. Of course I care if something is really bad. I'm upset, and sometimes I even refilm some videos. But generally, I think you can see me, you can hear me, and that's okay. Of course, I respect my viewers, of course. And I want them at least to see and to hear me well, but about many things I don't really care. I'm like, it works, okay, it's good. So it's more important for me to give the information. Maybe it's bad because okay, I'm not going to do this any longer. Maybe it's bad because my video could be better, with better quality, with better different stuff, but I try to do better quality, but in my style. So I'm just not a perfectionist by my character. Sometimes I feel that I think that everything is okay, then I see that it's not okay because I didn't prepare something really well, because I thought, oh, it's fine. And yes, I checked if my camera turned on now, because I thought maybe I didn't turn it on. It happens. I don't see my camera while filming, because I film on my phone, I don't have camera, and I can't see the picture while filming. Because if I film on the front camera, the front camera has much worse quality, and also I don't want to be distracted with that. So yeah, but of course it would be good to check from time to time what's happening there, because for example in the last video with photos I was a bit upset because I saw that I turned the phone for filming, and many photos couldn't be visible clearly, and I didn't want to remake this video because they were my true sincerely emotions about my thoughts about these photos and how can I remake it. So I just uploaded it like that, like it was, but of course it could be better. So there are two sides of this how to say it, this way of working. On the one hand, you do, and you can do a lot. You are very you are very productive, because for many people they just don't start. They think that it's too bad, I don't know how to do it good, and they just don't start. And I just do it because I don't care. Actually, I care only maybe for my viewers. of course I want them to feel comfortable while watching my videos. But also I understood, for example, I try to speak slower. I know that I speak too fast for ASMR. I was thinking about that. I even wanted to do not ASMR channel because I thought that maybe it's not really ASMR what I'm doing, because ASMR, sorry, because I speak too fast. But some people like my accent. Some people like the way I speak. So okay, I guess there can be different forms of ASMR. And I try to speak slow. I know that it's better when I speak slow, but my personality works like that. Like the way that I'm quite emotional, I'm quite living, and I can't hide my emotions, and I can't even say that I really want to do this. That's why it's like that. That's why I talk like that. When I tell in something, I start feeling these emotions from telling, and I can't hold them. That's the thing. So I do my best. I don't do my best. No, I don't do my best. But at least I try. Of course, first of all people who film, they film well. Of course, if that you are not just channel for money, but technically, of course, all people who film, they film firstly for themselves, not for anyone else, because viewers, they will survive without my videos. They just can look someone else. Their concurrence is very big, and that's why, and everywhere it's like that, in any work it's like that. So my ex-boss, she said, I can fire all of you and hire the new workers. And actually that's how it works. You are not I understand that I'm not a person who can't be replaced. I can be replaced easily everywhere. Any person can be replaced. We could speak that no, for example, he or she, they were irreplaceable, but this is not the true. People die, for example, and they are replaced with another people, and with some success even sometimes. So what I wanted to say that I understand that I'm irreplaceable, and that's why I just try at least to do what I want, because no one will really appreciate it. Well, of course will, but not so much that you need to put your life on something. And I decided that at least I need to have fun from everything I do, and at least it must be pleasant for me. Not at least, only only for me. And if someone else like it, that would be good. That would be nice. If someone can have fun, can be entertained, that's cool. But firstly, of course, I entertain myself with this. That's true. That's why I film what I want to film. That's why I don't film trends, for example, just to get more views. Because, like, what for? For me, it's not interesting to film the things which were filmed thousands times before me, before I did this. I don't know, for some people, of course for recommendations, for YouTube, TikTok, for all video services, and not only video, I think that would be good. But I don't want, because if I would do only something for recommendations, for platform, I would burn out very fast. And if I do what I like, I won't I won't burn out so fast. Or I hope that I won't burn out at all, actually. So yeah, that's how I decided it for myself, and that's how I try to do it. So also I understood that, why, by the way, that I really can recommend it, why it's better to do as you feel and not to copy someone. Because when you do as you feel, you collect the audience. Okay, you attract the audience which is similar to you, and you understand each other better, and you feel pleasant with your audience. So people who don't like it, they just leave, and the people who are, okay, I'll say, have the same vibes with you, they stay, and that's cool. And if you will copy someone, different people will come, and I'm not sure that these people that you will feel pleasant to each other, or you need to pretend all the time for this audience, and I don't want to pretend, for example. So life is difficult enough, and I think I would prefer to find comfortable and safe place for me. So of course my audience should be on one, and we call it in Russia, on one wave with me. That's why I think so. I'm not sure that I move any faster, but maybe a little bit at least. But I really like to do it in more living way, so like this. Then try to do all these points, tiny points. Look what is there, what is here, and where. Oh, I even used the wrong colors. Okay, never mind. So what I want to say, that I used to be very strict to myself. I felt I blamed myself a lot and all this stuff. I had a very big tendency to this. And that's very bad, because finally it's all, and also I couldn't protect my personal borders. No one taught me. I think that's the most important thing we need to taught our kids. We need to teach them, not taught, sorry. We need to teach them how to write, to count, I guess, how to take care of their health, for example, eat healthy or something, and to protect their personal borders. I think that's top 4 things, but no one actually teaches us. And when I started to protect my personal borders, I felt much better. And I forgot why. I told that because before I blame myself a lot, and I didn't protect myself, my personal borders. I just didn't know how to do this. And finally it ended for me with I don't know what color it is, okay, I don't care. With fibromyalgia, when you feel chronic pains all the time in your body. Now I feel better. But it's very difficult to treat. Officially, it can't be treated. It's nervous system disorder, and that's because I didn't care enough of my mental health, because I didn't know how to do this. So I don't know why it's so strange. Okay, let's do something like this. Like this. You know, I think maybe let this picture won't be perfect, but at least I'll take pleasure of doing it, of coloring it, and it won't be so exhausting for me. And now I'm taking antidepressants. Now I take 2 because I liked the first one I was taking, but I had problems with sleeping. I didn't sleep well with that. That's the only side effect which I don't like. But anyway, it's important, and I don't want to change it, to change the medicine, but I wanted to do something with that. So now my doctor and I tried different ones, and now she added the second one but to sleep, so it neutralizes the side effects of the first one. And so now I take 2 of them, and I feel a bit better, but I don't understand. I don't really sleep well, and that's why I want to sleep all the day very often, and I'm not as productive as I wish I were. So, but I try. I think I just need to try to, how to say it, to take the dose carefully, more carefully, to try different way. Oh, it's a bit dirty, I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm still doing it. I'm doing and doing it. It's still a lot of, it seems like it's a lot of work to do, and I don't like these white things. Okay, 15. Oh, I took too much. Where else I need 15? I can't see it. Here it's 16, 17. Okay, it's 16. It's 16 and I need 16. Cool. So this and that and this, and here they need 18. 16. Here it's almost all 16 or 18 or 6, so I think I just can do it like this, and 18. Something strange is happening here, but okay, never mind. Number 9. Yes, here number 9, and here 8 and 5. with yellow. So something like this, and I hope that I will start sleep better, because sleeping is very important. We all know this, and I don't like having blurries under my eyes. Under, above, no, under. Under. Yeah, so if we remember I remember some like fuck ups. I remember how I sat in front of the camera with a toothpaste on my eye, or I always brush my hair before filming, but when I sit in front of the camera, something happens with them all the time. Something happens with my hair and they are becoming unbrushed, and I can't see it, of course. I can't see it because what is here, because I don't see the screen. So sometimes it would be not so bad to have a cameraman. So 16. And here. And here it's so many of this. Oh my god. Where is 14? 14 is 13 in Russian. 3, 3. 13, 13. I think my camera is going to die out now because there is a lack of memory there, so I think I need to stop and then continue because I need to free some place. So I'm going to continue, and if you don't mind, I colored this side by myself. Oh, this one not to the end, and I feel that I really want just to finish it and that's it. So I'm going just to do it all quite fast. So I think I'm not gonna talk because yes, this one is much better. This one I like. Yes, with liner I feel much more relaxing than it was before. So I think that liner pretty saved the situation with the picture, because I actually was really ready to throw it out. Let me just cover the dirt. And I think it's gonna be not so bad. Like this, and this. And I guess I should use this one here. So that's it. I'm done with it, finally. I can't say that I loved this type of painting. That's not... Oh, that's my hand. That's not for me. If I want to draw, I draw by myself. If I want to color, I will take something easier, because that was not relaxing at all. That's not something... Okay, a little bit, it's not something which is for me, really. So tell me if you like it or not, such kind of drawings, but I will never try it ever, I think. So maybe I was right, my feelings were right, that I don't really like this kind of picture. This is not for me, but I hope that this enormous video was interesting for you. Maybe relaxing, maybe not, but at least interesting. So thank you for watching, and пока-пока.